This is Romo Dunze, and you're listening to the Ballsville podcast.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
And now, your host of the Ballsville podcast, Scott Fitzgerald.
The Ballsville podcast. I'm your host, Scott Fitzgerald, aka Ludes for Sale on Sleeper. And this episode is brought to you by the Ballsville Games. Our games combine fantasy, football, and poker, which create big payouts with great odds. We are a little over tomorrow would be 1 week until the opening Thursday night game. We're all pretty excited about that. Lots going on. It was cut down day this week. And before we get into it, I'm going to introduce my panel. To the upper corner, we have the co-host from Viva Las Vegas. He's Bill's Mafia. He is a Josh Allen man crusher. He is Sean S. Clam. What is up, Sean?
Not much, my friend. How you doing?
And after a long weekend of eating, my best friend, Ken Moore, the dealer's back, who accompanied me in the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend, and we had a great time. It's definitely a bucket list thing. What's up, Ken?
Hey, what's going on?
And welcome back. He's a good old boy from South Texas. He is C-Bomb Connor. What is up, Connor?
What's up? Y'all threw a curveball at me with the music. I was cracking up at it.
So
That was good from Sarah.
Yep, and then our producer in the back is Sarah Sarah M21. What is up, Sarah? All righty.
She's
Well,
just a girl.
Just a girl. Before we get into news and notes, I just want to go over some schedule changing for next week. So during the point scoring season, because we have so much great information to give to you guys, we are going to move our podcast to 2 nights a week. The first one will be on Tuesday, starting September 3rd. We will move that one back to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because, and I'll get into the reason why we're moving it back. We'll start off with injury reports, recap the Sunday and Monday night slate. We will get into the Thursday night preview, and then we move that time back so we can get our fab bidding analysis in, so you guys can get those fab bids in before midnight. Our second night will be Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will go through the Thursday night recap, the preview for Sunday and Monday night slates, prop and Vegas bets, and then also the rankings and lineups start sits. So we will definitely be getting into that. And if we have enough time, we'll do possibly any kind of trade analysis. We'll also be updating throughout the year, probably every 4 weeks. Probably have a little section of how some of our leagues are doing, possibly some teams that could be undefeated in best ball, give them guys some props for putting together some nice squads. And I'm hoping throughout the year, if one or several gamers, can get off to a hot start, 7, 8, 9, and 0, maybe we can get them on the pod here and figure out how they built their rosters to going for an undefeated season.
Yeah, it won't be Sean because he'll be sitting in last place all year.
You can have me back anytime.
All righty, we will get into some news and notes now, and we are going to start with the big news, and that is Dalvin Cook on his way to Dallas. I will start with this. I do not know what the Cowboys are doing. They already have a running back that has oatmeal pants, and they're going to bring in another running back with oatmeal pants. So I don't understand the signing. Obviously it's just depth, but I think they should just let Rico and Zeke go right at it. It's just going to clog up the backfield. I want to see a little more. I want to see what Rico Dowdle has So that's kind of where I'm at. I just don't understand the Cowboys. What about you, Sean?
I mean, I'm in the same boat. I just made a trade for Rico like a few days before this all went down. So I'm definitely not excited to see this happen. But like I said, I'm not really all that concerned either. It brings up about the same amount of concern as Ezekiel had brought up. Like they're both older. They're both kind of past their prime type guys. And, I just don't anticipate that he's going to be able to steal a whole lot of work. Hopefully it comes from Zeke and not from Rico.
What about you, Connor? You're down there in Texas.
I don't think he's almost anything. I think they thought he was going to be a split backfield with Brees Hall last year, and that didn't happen. I think they brought in Zeke. I think Zeke probably gets the majority of the carries over Dowdle and Cook. Zeke had an RB1 week last year, and I think another RB5 week as well in the 5 games he started. So I think he still has a little bit left, more so than Cook.
Ken, is this really? I mean, are you still drafting Dowdle then with all this crap?
I would definitely still take him. I don't think Cook. This move does nothing for me in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't impact any of the running backs for me on the Cowboys. I do think Dowdle will have a good majority of it, but I also think Zeke will be, sprinkled in there too.
Got you. Yep. All right. Well, another running back with the oatmeal pants syndrome is A.J. Dillon. He's off on IR for the rest of the year. Thank God. Lloyd is hurt.
God, wow,
oh, man, bro.
Bad juju.
Lloyd is hurt, so I think it's Josh Jacobs' season. What about you, Ken? You think you got to be moving Josh Jacobs up your board?
I think so, but my issue is there's just so many mouths to feed in that offense. I think Jacobs will move up, and I think a lot of people will start targeting him more before the season starts. But he's still a guy that I won't touch.
Really? What about you, Connor?
I'm kind of with Ken. I think I'm a little higher on him now than I was, but it's still not a guy I'm targeting personally.
Any love for Jacobs, Sean?
I mean, I think Jacobs is probably going to get same amount of carries he was going to get before AJ got hurt. AJ wasn't going to command any amount of targets more than I can't remember what the kid's name is. Mitchell, maybe I want to say is the next guy up in line for now until Marshawn comes back from his injury. So, I don't think it's going to change the scope for Jacobs at all. If anything, it slightly upticks him, but it's going to be the same either way, I think.
I'm probably a little bullish on Jacobs with the news now. I mean, he has good hands out of the backfield. I think they're going to run, with the receiving core there. It's going to open up a lot of lanes for him. He's not the most. I know he's not the most durable, but if he stay healthy, I really like Josh Jacobs. I mean, especially where we're getting him in these drafts. I mean, he's in that kind of dead zone running back section. So if you go like 0 RB and you're drafting like what the Ken and Connor like to do, getting him as your first back, down in round 4 or 5, maybe if you go 3 wide receivers right off the bat, I kind of like that to get a pretty good RB1 in the 4th round after going 3 receivers. I kind of like it. All right, another running back that's gone is Elijah Mitchell, who's McCaffrey's backup. So it's looks like Jordan Mason, who had a pretty good preseason. He's in the mix now. And then on another running back, and Jalen Warren looks like he's going to be good to go for week 1. Any thoughts on any of those 2 running backs? We'll start with Ken.
It's kind of funny because I remember when everyone was so high on Elijah Mitchell, and now it just seems like that he can never stay healthy. Mason, on the other hand, I'm kind of a fan as a backup. He's looked good this, preseason. If JoJo was on, he would say that preseason doesn't matter and stats don't matter, but I am still very high as Mason because, he seemed durable, because it seems like the last 3 years of 49ers running backs have continued to get hurt at some point, out multiple games, stuff like that. So if I have CMC in places, I'm definitely getting Mason as a backup. and maybe the guy that they drafted too, if I can grab him.
Sean, anything?
I definitely think that handcuff in CMC is going to be a move to make this season. I really do. He's known to have injuries prior to the last couple seasons when he got in San Fran. He had a hard time in Carolina staying healthy. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's already showing signs of the potentials there. So I would definitely want to grab the back behind him because they're very good at getting the most out of mediocre talent in their backfield. So even if the kid behind him isn't a great talent like he is, he's still going to be a useful player.
Okay, Connor, anything?
Yeah, I'll agree with both of them. Mason's an elite handcuff to have right now. I don't know if he can produce anything. Like I believe CMC probably stays healthy majority of the year, but we'll see.
And then one more quick running back, and then I'm going to get into some receivers. I'm just going to ramble off a bunch of news and notes.
Ken loves these running backs, by the way, so he's trying to keep him going.
So now, I thought this was pretty interesting. So Carson Steele made the team for KC, and it's looking like he's going to be behind Pacheco. So I like this kid. He runs hard. I don't know exactly the kind of if he's going to be more of a receiving back when he comes in or just spell Pacheco, but I kind of like the move. He's a guy that I think I'll root for. You guys have any takes on Carson Steele?
Yeah, go ahead, C-Bomb.
I think they signed Samaje Perine to take that role.
Play the song, Sarah. Samaje Perine. Hey.
I'm getting a lot of opportunity for Oatmeal Pants today.
Come on, that guy's not going to have anything. No relevance.
They signed him for a reason. They just didn't claim him off waivers for. I mean, there has to be an indictment on Carson Steele and the other back they have back there that they don't really trust him. So they want somebody who can catch passes on third down or whatever. So
okay, that's enough. All right, anybody that wants to draft Samaje Perine, go right ahead.
Hey, nobody said draft him. I'm just saying. I don't think Carson Steele was
anybody
anything.
adding him. I don't think anybody's adding him.
This is fun.
All right, enough of running back talk. I don't even want to talk about running backs anymore. All right,
going through Carson Steele.
Going through the receivers real quick. Ayuk's still without a contract. CD's signed his mega deal, so that's awesome for people who waited on him and got him, 5th, 6th, 7th overall. That's awesome.
Whoever got him 5th, 6th, 7th overall. That's late. I don't think I saw him go past 4.
I think some people before he was signed. I mean, I probably took him. Hill went over him for sure. CMC, CMC went over him, and in one quarterback leagues, people were taking Bijan, Breece Hall over him. So yeah, he was strong.
Yeah, I've seen him fall a few times, especially when Jerry Jones and him, were going through that little spat of whatever Jerry Jones got's going on over there. But he definitely fell a couple later than he should have in a couple of drafts I saw.
Yeah. Never let geriatric Jones affect your draft, guys.
And then a couple other things that were interesting. Noah Brown signed with the Commanders. And then Allen Robinson and Tim Patrick signed with the Lions on the practice squad.
Oh, why? They're both washed up.
Yeah, I'm talking about oatmeal pants. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, Allen Robinson.
God,
Tim Patrick's all right.
He's all right. He hasn't played in 3 years.
The fact that we are talking about Allen Robinson, that's worse than talking about Perine.
This has been a very old graybeard type of episode so far.
Hey, I'm just telling you what players that signed. Like Terrence Marshall went to the Niners.
Oh,
I actually wanted the Bills to pick Terrence Marshall up. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, Sean,
he would fit right in with all those trash.
It was the Joe Brady connection, man. I wanted the Joe Brady connection.
That's so funny.
Oh,
what do you guys think about Chase, man? Let's go round table with Chase. Where are you at with Jamar Chase right now? If you're in a redraft right now, Sean, are you still drafting Jamar Chase over? Because I had this dilemma when I had my draft last week, and Ken said he wanted Chase, and I said no, I want Jefferson.
What? No.
I'm definitely taking Chase.
No, I never said that.
We need receipts. Maybe
it was Sean. Was that you, Sean, that said you?
Yes, it was actually me. That was. I would take Chase over Jefferson still, no matter what. At this point, I just still think that the Burrow Chase opportunity there is too strong to pass up. I know that Chase is holding out, but I don't anticipate that's going to bleed into the season. I really don't. So I mean, he's holding in, for God's sakes, right? So I think he'll be fine. I think he's already reported to practice, if I'm not mistaken, over the last few days.
Street clothes.
Yeah, street clothes.
So didn't he do something recently with the team? Like just maybe
Zach,
this morning even? It might have been.
Zach Taylor said he was going to be back at practice today, and then he wasn't at practice.
He retracted his statement about week 1.
It was at a while. He was back at practice,
exactly.
a walkthrough practice, basically.
And then afterwards, he's like, I might have spoke too soon. He's day to day or whatever. So
Connor, I know you like Chase. Where's he at in your top 5 of receivers?
Yeah, so I would still probably, I don't know, that the Taylor interview scared me a little bit today. What he's saying, I spoke a little early. We'll see how it goes week 1 or something. He's day to day right now or something along those lines. That scared me a little bit, but I think I'm still right above Jefferson, right above. I might have moved Amon-Ra above him. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere along those lines. So
so you did move. You like Amon-Ra over Chase then?
Yeah, especially while he's if Chase misses 1 week, I mean the gap isn't that large to lose a top 5 pick or whatever you're spending on Chase. So I'd take Amon-Ra above him.
What about you, Ken?
I don't know. Chase is tough, right? If I would have been really worried if he wasn't even around at all. But he's still showing up, which means that I feel like they're close to something behind the scenes for him to still be there, and they're just kind of working out the minor details. So going into the season, I'm not necessarily worried, but I will say this. If we get to I'd say maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week, and they don't have a deal done, then I might start getting a little nervous about him because, I'm kind of hoping that over the weekend, they kind of, finalize the deal and everyone's, fine with that. But
you go ahead. My bad.
I will add this, though. Just for some reason that if Chase does hold out into the season, which I don't think will happen, I'm going to say T. Higgins' value for where you got him in redraft and dynasty drafts is going to look like an absolute steal.
The other thing about Chase is you have to worry about him not, playing or anything, injuries like that, twitch injuries, hamstrings, all that stuff. With practicing basically 1 week before the game, it's not real safe bet there. It's another thing to worry about with him.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't ease him into the first week, though, if that happens. Yeah. He only gets that first week of practice. I could see him playing, maybe 70% of the snaps instead of 90, like he normally would, something like that. Trying to avoid that exact thing.
I mean, the one thing you don't want to do is make a mistake in the first round. And when it comes down to, taking an asset in the first round, it's all about availability. Now, if Jamar Chase was on the Cowboys, I wouldn't even care because I didn't care about CD because I knew Jerry was going to pay CD. But we're talking about the Bengals, and the Bengals have been known to
Scott's favorite team
be kind of tight, with the money, and Jamar could go out there and he's only playing on I think on $1.5 million this year is his base salary. Does he want to go out there and if things don't start going right, my back hurts, my hamstrings bothering me, and have that kind of situation, or maybe if the Bengals should be good, but
going into your free agency though.
Pardon me?
You don't want to have that kind of season going into free agency if he doesn't get a deal done.
I don't think it really matters. You don't think 31 other teams would sign Jamar Chase?
Oh, I think they will, but I don't think he's going to want to have that as his most recent tape.
Everybody, well, I mean, I just think he's the type of player that, if he did not have the greatest season because of some injury, I don't think that would sway 31 other teams to go ahead and sign him.
He wants over Justin money. He's looking to be the highest paid non-quarterback in football from what I read. So if that's the case, he's going to have a decent season this year in order to get over Justin money. Otherwise he'll be closer to what CD just signed for. And he obviously doesn't like that or he would have signed.
Well, I mean, true.
I will also say, I think this is the first time for redrafts. I'm not going to necessarily say dynasty, but I do think it's the first time in a while where you were drafting in the first round and in a super flex and you're in the later pick of the first. This has been a little bit of a tougher season, not knowing, JJ with not having, Jefferson without a top quarterback, Lamb's situation with his contract, Chase's situation with his contract. I think this has kind of been like in 3 or 4 years where it's been like, wow, having to make some hard decisions and seeing, like, for example, I don't think St. Brown is better than Chase and JJ, but I think people have taken him more often because of the safer bet because they know what to expect. Unlike, Chase, I know you still have Burrow, but the contract, how's JJ going to be with Sam Darnold, stuff like that. So I think, redrafts looking at it earlier in the season to where we are kind of now, I think has kind of changed in terms of draft-wise. And I know most people are done with their drafts, but I think it's been kind of interesting to watch this offseason how those players have kind of changed and seeing St. Brown over Chase and, seeing it more than usual.
I think even if you go a step farther than that, I think even more so with the running backs moving up in the rankings throughout the season so far. Like running backs were starting out, it was always receiver heavy early, especially with the top 5 receivers out there being like super studs. But then you had Bijan and Brees go from mid-second round picks in the beginning of this season, and now they're all the way up into, I've seen them taken in the top 5, multiple times. So that's a pretty big jump for those running backs to be pulled up higher. And then you got guys like Kyron and Jonathan Taylor going at the turn, and stuff like that. So I feel like running backs are definitely moving up in the rankings. People are realizing that the depth isn't there, and they're becoming more sought after earlier in these drafts.
I mean, people. I mean, if he does eventually sign and he has an outstanding year, then people are gonna that ended up having him fall in their laps are gonna get, going to have a superstar and that they drafted him late. So I mean,
what's the latest you've seen him go?
I haven't seen him out of the first round yet, but I've always seen him on the. Let's just say what's the earliest I've seen him, not the latest. I mean, I've seen him. I think in a high stakes league, I seen him go like number 2 overall, and that was like last week.
Wow!
So some guy was like really thinking that, Chase was gonna had. I mean, obviously he has number 1 overall receiver upside, but like I said, in a nutshell, for you gamers, if you're worried about a guy being hurt or a contract issue or whatever, just take the next guy then. If you're worried about and then just you wipe your hands clean and you don't worry about it. So the last thing you want to do is worry about it and then something happened and then you said, what, I could have taken St. Brown, I could have taken Jefferson. So
let JJ and Chase drop to like early 3rd.
I saw the farthest I've seen Chase drop was to the 2-1. I've seen him go on the turn at the 2-1 spot.
Where do you think a steal is?
Wait. That was when Seaball made that trade in that league, and we all
That's
wrote
dynasty.
him for not taking a quarterback.
That's dynasty.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was a redraft, but it was a superflex redraft. So that did make a difference. And the one quarterback, there's no way he's dropping.
I took Brees Hall and I took Chase at the 112 and the 201 in the superflex recently.
Rookie.
All the QBs went. So
is there anything?
Murray.
Is there anything
I think is it?
He went.
Oh, go ahead.
Nothing. Keep going.
No, I was gonna say, is there anything I skipped? Maybe because there's so much going on. Is there anything I skipped over? You guys want to talk about?
Yes, you skipped over the fact that Ken is wearing a Bucks shirt today and not his normal TJ Hawkinson jersey.
I heard a rumor that.
Oh my God!
It's because he wore it every day this last week. So
Oh no, I didn't.
5 days in a row.
I heard TJ's getting traded to the Bucks. That's what it is.
That would be amazing. I would get season tickets.
Jeez. All right.
Scott.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Well, tell the Lions story.
You wanted me to. You were mad.
I wasn't mad, but I think it's funny, and everyone's going to get a kick out of it.
All right. So Ken and I went to the Lions game this weekend, the preseason game, and we're sitting there in the stands. And these two guys, and Ken's got his Hawkinson jersey on. So there's two guys behind me, and they're talking football. They're big Steeler fans, and they're going on and on. Two younger fellers, and they're just going on and on about different players and this and that. And then out of nowhere, I don't know how they got on the conversation, but they said something like, oh yeah, Hawkinson's coming back off of IR or whatever. And then the one guy busts out and says, yeah, he's coming back, but he's not even going to be good. And just the way he said it, I wish I would have had it on recording. And I looked at Ken's face, and he was so mad.
I think the guy definitely had a few.
Yeah, but he was tearing into TJ Hawkinson. So I wanted to turn around and agree with him and buy him a beer, but I didn't want.
I know what this feels like.
I didn't want Ken not to talk to me the rest of the trip. So it was pretty funny. And actually, I think in that whole stadium, I saw one TJ Hawkinson jersey from a Lions fan. Actually, and it was a Lions Hawkinson jersey, and Ken had the Vikings one. So you could see how popular he was in Detroit. He wasn't.
Ken, what is the infatuation with TJ Hawkinson though? Like, did y'all like meet? Like, what is the?
Well, the reason I like TJ Hawkinson so much is this is very minor, so it's not really a big story. But I had a big game a couple of years ago in a friend league, and it was kind of just a dumb thing. And TJ Hawkinson decided to have one of the few games that he's popped off, and
few games.
Hey, you be quiet up there, Mr. Michigan fan. I just always have just been a big fan of him, and it must be the hair too.
So bad.
I just
all right,
watched Untold, by the way, on your Michigan Wolverines.
What?
I just watched that Untold episode on your Michigan Wolverines today.
I just got done watching the national championship game.
Just wait till they take that one away.
No, they won't do that. So now that we'll segue right into going from Ken's infatuation with TJ Hawkinson to our pub sub bets. So for you listeners that don't know about pub sub bets, there is a store in Florida called Publix, and the groceries are so overpriced, but their subs are actually pretty good, very, very well priced, and they are amazing, especially the buffalo chicken pub sub. It's outstanding. So we decided that when we make our hot take bets, we would always say, well, I'll bet you a pub sub. And Ken and I started that with the pub sub bet of TJ Hawkinson must play 8 consecutive games this season for him to win a pub sub bet. So
Easy.
It got so popular that the rest of our panel and the rest of our managers in Ballsville all started throwing out all kinds of hot takes, which ended up being pub sub bets, which equals a $10 bet.
Hey, we already have a winner, by the way. We already have one that's been won. We already have one. I have a clip. If y'all don't care, I can show
let's
it.
see this clip.
30-second clip of Sean thinking he's going to win this bet. Let's see how this goes.
Hey, I absolutely thought at the time I was going to win that bet.
I want to see it.
Going on with you?
I'm telling you, Jonathan Brooks is a fucking stud, and you guys will remember this comment in a couple of weeks when he's kicking ass and taking names. You guys can be like, man, Sean, how'd you know? I'm going to say, because I'm a fucking pimp.
Can we put a pub sub on Zeke and Brooks week 1? I bet Zeke outscores Brooks week 1.
Ooh, I'm down for that. You want to do a pub sub, Brooks? And
week 1. Yeah.
All right, I'm down for that.
Oh my God, Sean!
I don't think Brooks even plays week 1. I think he's out.
Going on.
All right, Sarah, first of all, Sarah, you have to keep that clip of Sean saying because he's a pimp. That's got to be a drop. Got to keep that one.
I love it because I even called it. Brooks will not play week 1.
So we also
girls, man. I throw them on, and a whole new Sean comes out, man.
And Sean's takes are just like his fantasy teams will be this year. Rough. But there was also a little bit of a change last week. No, was it last week? When Scott was not here on time, and the couple of us talked about that also, if I win the bet, which I will, Scott has to wear a Hawkinson jersey on the podcast.
Don't forget he has to have the little horns with the nice blonde braids coming out the side.
So that is also part of the pub sub bet.
Yeah, I will. I told him I said I will wear a Hawkinson jersey if it comes true. I will do that.
Oh, you will be wearing it.
So now Scott's got to come up with a good one for Ken. So whatever Ken's gonna need to wear during his pub sub eating, Scott can come up with a nice little outfit for you too.
No, I don't think I'll make an outfit. I'll just say that I'll just make Ken shave his whole face so we can see his baby.
Bet.
What do you think about that, Ken? You got to shave your face.
No, he's got to shave everything except for like something like with like a question mark, you know?
No, he works in the professional world. It'll grow back, and I'm sure in 2 days, Ken.
Oh,
Ken's got to shave his face.
If you're that confident, you can't pull
things
out
over the weekend and then shave it all off on Monday.
So that's it. You got to shave your face.
oh, fine.
on
All
stream.
right. So that like Connor said, that was our first pub sub victory. So I'll go over some that we have written down. One right off the bat was Ken. Help me out on this one. So it was you and Jeff, who's Zubikis, and you guys did a pub sub bet on. It was Pacheco finishing when in the top 5.
He says that Pacheco's going to finish in the top 5, and I said there's no way in heck that happens. So we have a pub sub bet on that.
Okay, so that's Pacheco in the top 5. I'm gonna go. I'll go around. So Sean, who do you think wins that bet?
Oh, I think Ken wins that bet. I don't think Pacheco's a top 5 back.
Connor?
Yeah, I'll go with Ken on that one. Although I do think it's possible, especially with Samaje Perine back there.
I mean, it's possible, right?
I think it could be close, but I give the edge to Ken.
Hold on. Wait a second. Mr. Presidente said he's 8 at best. I thought he was a lot higher on Pacheco, just like Zubikis.
Right?
He is a truther. Alex is a truther.
That Samaje Perine changed his mind.
So that's one. Another one that we have is me and Connor and I have 2. One is I think Justin Watson is will finish a top 25 wide receiver.
Christian Watson, but yeah.
What is that? What I said? Christian Watson?
Justin Watson.
I'll
take the Justin Watson too if you want to give me that one.
You would. Sean, you don't. I know you like Watson, but are you going to defend me or no?
It's wide receiver 2.
Top 25 is tough, man.
You don't think he could be a wide receiver 2?
Oh, I think he can. But do I want to put a sub on it? I'll go with you. I'm going with Scott. I'm going to go with Scott. I've been drafting him enough to go with Scott. I got to stick to my guns.
You better. And I know Ken's against it, aren't you, Ken?
I'm joining Seabohm on this one.
It's 2 for 2.
Winners.
All right, now this one should be a slam dunk. I'm going to get opposite results from Sean and Ken. So Love's going to finish as a top 10 quarterback. Sean, you don't like that, right?
No.
And Ken?
Oh, definitely.
That's like automatic, right?
Yeah, that's easy.
That's a layup. That's a layup, right?
Yeah.
Top 10. I think he's getting drafted at 8. I mean, it's not like 8th quarterback overall. I believe he's getting drafted, maybe 9th.
Well, I also think
which is criminal.
Okay, but also certain quarterbacks are getting overdrafted or drafted too high, like Richardson.
I was just going to say, I knew you were going to pinpoint Richardson as the guy.
Now, Sean did make a good point earlier when I talked on the phone today. There are some quarterbacks that didn't finish the year last year that are coming back. So
Kyler,
but then there's going to be some quarterbacks
Burrow
that are going to drop those. So I just think it's
like Love.
I just think it would be way too hard for him to drop out of the top 10. There's no way.
What did he finish last year? 7th?
No, he didn't finish. Go look at Sleeper. He finished, I think, like 4th or 5th. And remember, Love started off horrible. The first 5 or 6 weeks, I don't think he threw a touchdown or threw a bunch of picks, and then he went crazy. So with those receivers, another year under his belt. I think
receivers. What receiver is wow, I need that guy on my team.
You don't like. You're the one that likes all the other receivers besides Watson.
Yeah, but they're not it's not like, wow, give me Romeo Dobbs over Amon-Ra St. Brown or Justin Jefferson. It's like,
dude, this guy is the worst Packer fan in the history.
He is.
of
He's so
the
he
Jets,
needs
dude.
his
Like,
Packer card
he
taken away.
hates his own
All right,
team.
let me ask you this, Connor. Where do you rank out of all the teams in the NFL the Packers wide receiving core? Are they a top wide receiving core?
like a top 10? No.
No, I'd
Really?
probably like 15 to 20.
Yeah, probably right around middle, just because they have they probably have a bunch of wide receiver twos. That's what I would say. They have a bunch of wide receiver. They have maybe 4 wide receiver twos that on any given team. They don't have, the CeeDee Lambs or the, AJ Browns, the
I mean,
Tyreek
they might have a
Hills.
guy that grows to that, but right now they
Yeah.
don't have a guy that requires that from a defense.
Ken, what about you? Ken, what
So, if we're looking in terms of talent, it's tough because I think they have the best depth at wide receiver in the league. I think that's top 10. The only other one that I can make a very strong case for is the
Houston?
Texans.
Yeah.
And I would put the Packers there. So when I look at overall ranking for wide receivers, I also look at depth. So for me, I would put them in the top 10 because of that.
Gotcha.
But I also have to agree with the tough Packers fan over there. There is no stud wide receiver one, but I would take Jaden Reed. I would take Dobbs. I won't say Watson because that guy's just can't stay healthy. But those two guys, I would take those as good wide receiver twos on any team.
That's what I said. That they have a bunch of wide receiver twos, but they're not, they're not beating AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They're not beating Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. There's a bunch of teams with 1-2 punches, and I would rather have a 1-2 punch than a,
Okay. All right. Around the horn,
bunch of
real quick.
jabs.
Around the horn, real quick. Sean, who has the highest ceiling out of the four receivers?
Well, we already talked about this. I would say the highest ceiling is Christian Watson for me.
Ken.
The ceiling is Watson.
Okay.
The ceiling.
I
is
would say
but
Watson, but I think the safer bet's Dobbs.
Yeah, the ceiling.
Why wouldn't you take the guy that has the higher ceiling?
Because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, if by the
I
grace
would
of
say it would
God,
be
Will
my
Fuller
order for
2.0.
highest ceiling.
Are you guys trying to win your fantasy league, or are you trying to just get by? Because where they're all being drafted, you can draft a guy who has the potential to have a huge ceiling.
aren't
Can
you
I
the
ask you a
one
question?
dating Joe Burrow?
Would you rather take Zay Flowers or Christian Watson?
I'd rather take Christian Watson.
Over Zay Flowers?
I think he has a higher ceiling.
Oh my God!
it depends on the situation. If you're talking dynasty, then I would
pub
consider
sub 4. Can we have
draft-
5?
You know
pub
why?
subs?
You know
That's
why?
what I want.
Because you know why? Because that the Ravens offense, they're a running offense. They're not throwing the ball all over the place.
So you're high on Josh Jacobs, and then you're high on
Why can't I be
Christian
high
Watson,
on?
but you're
Why
'cause
can't
it's
I
a
be
run
high on
offense.
Jacobs too?
Oh,
He's
Hey,
the only one in the
Hey,
backfield.
hold on. I got a pub sub.
what is
I
it?
guarantee I will put a pub sub that Zay Flowers will finish better than Christian Watson in fantasy this year.
It's going to be close, but I would.
Now he's
I would take
backtracking.
Watson just because I think he has a higher ceiling.
So
Pub
you
sub?
take a
Pub sub.
pub sub on it?
No, he ain't doing that. What about 10 spots? I'll give you 10 spots for Watson.
We're going on. We're moving on.
Backtrack.
We will see it. We're gonna really see about this. All right, we're gonna move on
All
to.
that came from Love being top 10 quarterback, by the way, guys. Just so you know.
That's a
Rubicus,
layup.
I'll take the pub
That's a
sub from
layup.
you. Watson over Flowers. What are we doing here? This is ridiculous.
All right. So what? Another some more pub sub bets is between Sean and Connor. We already went through one that Sean already lost. The next one was the Bills do not win the AFC East. I think we can all. I know. I like the Dolphins. What about you? What about you, Ken?
I wish I had this bet before C-Bomb because this is almost like a slam dunk. No, Sean, no. This is definitely laying the year, and
I'm all right.
I can also see the Jets making a push for
Yeah,
it.
that's who I think is honestly going to win. I think the Jets have. If Aaron stays healthy, I think that team can be a Super Bowl contender for sure.
No.
I just like the Dolphins
You
because
stay with your last place team over there.
I just want the
Last
Dolphins
place for beating the
because
Patriots. That's for damn sure, no matter what.
I just want the Dolphins because I want to see more of McDaniel.
Yeah, right. McDaniel doing drug deals on the sideline.
And then the other one was which manager's team finishes first. I assume that's his dynasty, Connor.
No, this is the Brass Balls Best Ball league we drafted.
Okay.
Yeah,
He was
this is our
talking crap
manager.
about my pick. He was talking crap about my picks as I was making them. I'm like, all right, let's put a pub sub on it. And he was
So
like, all right,
I just
guarantee
want everyone,
you.
as everyone is here, I will be finishing first. Scott will be finishing second. C1 will be third, and Sean will probably be last place after everyone.
And so
I have a great team in that league, dude.
And so the listeners know this is the Brass Balls is a league where
You want to pull it up, Sean?
Brass balls.
where the Alex got all the game managers and put together a draft. It's best ball, right, guys? Best ball.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I think it's like best ball head to head though. It's not points for. If I have that correct, Alex can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's best ball, but it's like head to head matchups instead of like our normal best ball, which is points for.
Oh, got you. It's 10 team. Yeah.
So this you got C-Bomb and me both sitting right here at 10 and 11. Or 9 and 10, I'm sorry. So that's basically where we're at with our two squads. So you tell me that my team is horrible. I think I did a great job.
Horrible.
You suck.
Look where I got CD Lamb sitting right there at 6 overall. There's Jamar Chase going 201.
Yeah, in a 10-man. So I guess you
Yeah.
call it 111 in a standard league. So yeah, but so I was sitting on a league recently where I had the 4th pick, and to me that's like the tier break. The first 3 obviously are CD, Hill, Christian. So I was sitting at 4, and I ended up going with Jamar Chase at that point over the other 3 receivers and the 2 running backs. The way the draft ended up falling, I was disappointed in myself. I would have actually went Bijan Robinson at that point.
Wow, who took Bijan in that one? Oh,
that was you. That's right. Right after I took Jamar Chase. Look at that.
So yeah, so you did take Amon-Ra over Chase then, Connor.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like as that thing was going on, I was a little higher on or a little lower on Chase than I was before. I'm not sure he plays week 1, and so best ball you need the points every week. So, but still, if Chase is healthy week 1 and Chase plays week 1, I'll probably still draft him over him. But it's a little late. I drafted Chase probably 90% of the time over Amon-Ra and Jefferson. Just the last couple weeks or so where I did minimal drafts, honestly. I took Amon-Ra probably 2 or 3 times over.
And then today we had Connor get a little excited, and he put 3 bets out there that went immediately without any thoughts. I'll read those out. So the one was Pitts over Kincaid this year. And Ken took that one right away. So Ken has the Kincaid side.
These are hot takes. This is not like a plant. Like I'm not dying on the hill. I'm not going broke.
But he's still investing.
Yes.
I'll
put my money where my mouth is every
to-
time. I'm not Sean or I'm not Scott. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'm not taking Christian Watson over Zay Flowers.
What do you mean you're not Sean? I put my money where my mouth is.
No,
I already
you're
lost
right,
it.
you're right.
You won't see me crying.
And then he said, and then Ken took the Kyler top 3.
No way.
He took that.
That's ridiculous.
And then there's one more. Did you say the second one?
Well,
Yeah,
the second
Kyler
one was
top
Kyler
3.
top 3. That Ken took that one, and then the third one, Zubikis jumped in and grabbed that one. Kamara a top 10. Sean, what do you think about that one?
No way. No way.
Ken, I think if you would have liked that one, you would have taken that one.
So my thing is I could really see him having a good year because of receiving.
Yeah. Can I defend myself on any of these? Or
Sure.
No.
Go right ahead.
So the reason Kamara is top 10 is I think he's getting drafted 15, 16 right now. And there's no number 2. I mean, you have Jamal Williams that might get a few goal line carries, but he was literally nothing last year, I believe. I don't know if anybody rostered him. Kamara was suspended. And then Kamara has Miller, who's on IR, and then they also got rid of Michael Thomas, who was their dump down guy. So Kamara getting screens. Derek Carr's not that good of a downfield thrower. So top 10 PPR seems like an easy bet if he stays healthy. And then Pitts over Kincaid, betting on talent. Kincaid honestly did not have that good of a year last year. Yeah, Bills finishing last. But I know Kincaid is like really high because he's going to get a lot of target share. But I want to bet on the talent that the Falcons, that Pitts has over Kincaid, as he was like number 4 overall pick. And then Kyler Murray, Matthew Berry, it's his ride or die. His ride or die has finished. I think number 1 QB was Jalen Hurts, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown was number 2 wide receiver last year, and those were his last 2. And that's another reason I was already high on Kyler, but then seeing that Matthew Berry is usually pretty good. I like.
Did you just rehash somebody else's opinion on our pod?
I was just about ready to say that. You should not be watching Fantasy Life. You should be watching the Ballsville.
Hey, well, they were doing 2 a week. They were doing a marathon. They're doing a marathon, but that's another reason I'm on Kyler Murray. I think he was number 5 QB in points per game when he got back from injury, and they added Marvin Harrison, so the receiver core got better. They also got Trey Benson back there.
It's still Kyler Murray. I mean, he's busy playing Call of Duty more than studying his playbook.
I think he averaged like 19 points per game last year and had Greg Dortch as his wide receiver run 1 for 6 out of the 8 weeks he was playing.
So where do you have Trey McBride now that they have those other targets on the team? Because everybody's still super high on him, like he's going to be.
I think he's my tight end 3 or 4, like either right around Mark Andrews and stuff. So I think that's probably fair. I mean, he's going to be the second targeted player on the team, right?
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I mean, the Kamara one, I'm not touching anybody on the Saints. I don't want anybody on the Saints. I want nothing to do with the Saints. Kyler Murray, I just think it's going to be real hard for him to get to number 3. And then I'm still a little worried about Dawson Knox, to be honest with you. I mean, with Kincaid there. I mean, I definitely think Kincaid is definitely going to be the second target in the offense. But I mean, I don't know. Sean, is Dawson Knox still going to be around?
Yeah, he'll get his probably 3 to 6 targets a game, depending on game plan. And he'll be, but I don't see, my thing is with Dalton is that's not the targets that Dalton was going to get anyway. Dalton's going to get the targets that were going to come from the ones that were going to Gabe and Diggs last year. So, Dalton's going to get a lot of those targets along with Shakir. And then I think Dawson gets the same amount of targets as he's always gotten. I think he plays pretty much the same role he has played, basically. I just don't expect him to be a factor into what happens with Dalton.
So the thing is
Ken, what about Pitts? Oh, go ahead, Ken.
It's Ken's bet too. So
the thing is, it's just like with Diggs and Gabe Davis both gone, that's 240. I think it was 240 targets between both of them last year that they have to make up with all these new guys. And I feel like Allen's going to go to the guy that he trusts the most. And that's kind of been part of that offense. I do like Shakir, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Allen and Kincaid is going to be like the next big tight end quarterback in the league after the Mahomes and Kelsey thing.
Yeah, I think that's what they're gearing that offense to be.
Oh, yeah, I mixed it up. So you got the Kincaid side, right?
Yeah, he wants the Pitts side.
I wanted Pitts, yeah.
Oh, well, then defend Pitts then.
I just think he's more talented. I think Kirk Cousins is a much better quarterback than what they had last year and the year before with Pitts.
Oh, I thought you were about to say much better than Josh. I
thought crazy. Than Josh Allen? No, I mean, maybe as a thrower.
Not even close. Not even close. I mean, Josh Allen could outthrow Kirk Cousins on his knees, bro.
I think you could argue, but I do believe that Pitts is a more talented player, and I believe that I think he had 1,000 yards his rookie year with a bum at quarterback, and Kirk Cousins has produced some top guys at the position at wide receiver as well. So
I'm definitely higher on Pitts. I just don't see a top 3 finish.
As we are on tight ends, I need to revisit something with Scott from last week. I would like to ask again if you want to put a pub sub on the fact that you think Zach Ertz is going to finish finish better than
What's with your
Hawkinson.
infatuation with Zach Ertz? First of all, Zach Ertz is a starting tight end. Starting.
Oh my god.
Starting.
He's no pants. Dude, why are you so high on
He's
no
a starting
pants?
tight end.
Okay, then put a pub sub on it.
It's not like I have him ranked in the top 12.
Basically, he's like 13.
You had Zach Ertz 6 spots ahead of Hawkinson.
Because Hawkinson's not even playing.
For 4 games.
You don't know that. You do not know that.
Okay, put a pub sub on it.
Do you
Put
know
a pub
for a
sub on it.
fact?
Pub sub.
You know for a fact that he's only going to be out 4 games.
Pub sub.
That he's only going to be out 4
Put a pub
games.
sub on it.
That he's only
He's
going to be out.
not put his money where his mouth is.
He's not going to do it for Watson and Flowers. At least put it here.
Put your okay. You put your money where your mouth is. Is he going to be out more than? Is he coming back week 5?
What?
Is he coming back week 5?
No, he's coming back week 7 because they have a bye week 6.
He's not.
Yeah, he comes back week 7.
Yeah. Okay. So that's half the season. All right.
Put your money where your mouth is on the Zach Ertz and Hawkinson.
No.
I like how he said, yeah, okay, all right, let's move on.
No. All right, we're gonna go to trades.
You're 2 for 2 tonight for backing out.
No, I'm not doing it. We'll see. You're gonna be shaving that beard, baby face. All right, we are gonna go to trades now. We have long overdue with trades. I know people want to talk about trades or hear about their trades. We got some doozies, definitely for sure. So Sean's rolling them up, and this is one of the dynasty leagues, right? Sean,
Yep.
Is that what
the Charizard League.
The Charizard League.
The Charizard League, yep. This was Red Kingdom 10. He got Christian McCaffrey, and he traded with Aquila for Isaiah Pachenko and a 2025 second.
I don't even care what league this is. A redraft or dynasty. This is CMC, and it's not even close.
I agree. 100%.
I agree. I third that.
Yeah, I definitely want the better player in the deal, so I definitely want McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I know I jumped the gun on this one, but my thing is Pacheco's 25 and isn't Christian McCaffrey 27, 28. And I just feel like, as we've always talked about aging running backs and stuff like that, they're both getting up there. But I think Christian McCaffrey stays in the league a lot longer than Pacheco will, just because of the type of back he is. And basically, in my opinion, I think this is – I'm not going to say like it was almost a 1-for-1, but that second does not really move the needle of trading away Christian McCaffrey.
I would. What if he would have got a first?
I'm still taking McCaffrey personally.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think I'm still sticking with McCaffrey. I think I would need a first and a second.
In all likelihood, they're both out of the league. Like, at best case, like they're out of the league in 3 years. I mean, like Ken said, McCaffrey probably, just because of how he plays and who he is, he's probably going to be a starter for at least the next 3 years. You honestly can't say the same thing about Pacheco.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think we're all in agreement that you should have gotten more for McCaffrey.
I mean, I think if a first would have looked a lot better. Obviously, I would have been a better conversation if it would have been a first. So yeah, I think you might have sold yourself a little bit short there, Achille. So
yeah, we all learned though. We all made a trade that we weren't happy about after a while. So you live and you learn, right?
Yep. All right, next slide. Same league.
I don't even want to look at that.
Oh, there we go.
So we got Let's Go 12 trading away Christian Watson and a 2025 third to Luke McKay for Hollywood Brown and a 2025 second. And I think everybody knows where me and Scott are going to stand on this trade.
Yep, I want to see where those two go.
Yep, I'm definitely taking the Watson.
Especially Connor. I want to see where Connor goes here. Connor, if you don't make the right call, I want your Packer man card.
Why?
Because
it's Packer woman card.
Yeah, that's what it is, a Packer woman card.
I want the second round pick.
Oh my
God. Best player in the draft. In the trade.
That's so bad. Oh my God.
You knew that was coming.
So bad.
Give me the second round pick and the better player.
You want to put a pub sub on it?
better
Christian Watson
player.
finishes better than Hollywood Brown. I'll put a
Yeah,
pub sub
because
on
Hollywood Brown might be out a few, like I think 2 or 3 weeks, but I think Christian Watson probably.
it. You got a pub sub on it? Let's do a pub sub. I'll take Christian
what?
Watson over Hollywood Brown. Highest scoring fantasy season between the two.
Oh, we'll do that.
Oh wow,
Do that?
that one went through, eh?
All right, so
At
that's
least
another-
at least someone's putting their money where their mouth is.
Oh,
Yeah.
quiet. You're gonna have that baby face halfway through the year.
This is where we need that clip that you were talking about, Scott. I'm a fucking pimp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sarah's got to save that one.
That was excellent.
That's a good drop.
Yeah.
Ken,
Good
can you-
job
can
on
you-
pulling that clip there, Simon. That was perfect.
Ken, can you put us back on track here?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Seabohm on this one.
Oh my god!
Oh my God, of course.
I said
You
put
thought-
us
you
back
thought.
on track.
I don't like. I get your point, like about Watson and the higher ceiling, but give me Brown with Mahomes.
That's
He could be.
No.
He could actually be Hollywood Brown when the dust settles. He could be the fourth option in that offense.
So
Absolutely.
could Christian Watson. What are we talking about?
No way.
He could be the third receiver and behind Josh Jacobs and behind, Kraft or Musgraves. He could be the sixth option.
Why would you take this trade if you think Hollywood Brown could be the fourth option then?
Because Christian Watson's going to be the sixth option, and I have the second round pick.
Not even close. God, so
so good. Oh man, these trades are awesome. I missed trade talks.
Wait, hold on. Okay, Scott, I'll give you your third and final option.
Oh
for the
my
night.
God.
Zach Ertz.
Where do you think Christian Watson finishes this year?
I just told you I had a bet with Connor.
But I really want you to change
That's two
that.
pub subs now on Christian Watson that Connor has.
Yep.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Fine,
yeah,
Scott.
it is.
I'll take as many Christian Watson pub subs as I can get, okay? Free.
I just hope, Scott, I want you to know that when he's injured this year, I will remind you every single time during a pod that Christian Watson's out.
Okay. All right.
it. That'll say, "Where's TJ
Please
Hawkinson?"
do that.
Hey,
I'll say
week
to
7,
you,
bro.
and I'll say to you, when is TJ Hawkinson coming back?
Week 7.
While we're in week 8.
How about y'all do a pub sub on who plays more games, TJ Hawkinson, Christian Watson?
Oh, it's who plays
Dude,
more
that's
games?
a-
I'm already going to win that bet because Watson's not going to be out for 8 games.
How many? He was out 10 last year.
Yeah, but he had 2 different size hammies.
Yeah, that's the greatest excuse of all time. I didn't run right because I had 2 different sized legs. They fixed it. Believe me,
Oh
but
my God, incredible! All right, next
I
slide.
just want to know what the workouts he did to fix the one hamstring were.
Let's get to the ones where there's actually some relevant superstars in it.
Oh, look.
Oh,
Oh, I can't wait to hear this one.
what is going on?
I'm not even going to say anything this trade because
Ooh,
you
that's
guys
right.
go to this.
hey, can we just go to the next trade?
Give me the second round pick.
I'm taking Watson all day on this one.
Oh, this
day.
this is a Love John trade. Who's siding with Love John? Connor is. Look at Ken.
This is the first time I think anybody has sided with Love John, and it's solely because of the Christian Watson hate.
God, you guys hate him so bad.
These
What
are
about-
just bad trades.
Yeah,
Just go to the next slide.
All right.
This one's
We got
bad
a-
too, I
we got a
think,
lot
right?
from this.
Yeah.
We got a lot from this league.
Oh, my Lanta.
Yeah, this was pretty bad.
So we've got Aquila trading away Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle to
I got-
Brady B for Jimmy Garoppolo, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua, a 2025 second, and a 2026 first.
Can my guy Brady get any richer? Dude got
God.
the best player and a first round pick.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what Aquila was thinking there.
He must want that Miami stack.
I guess. But
Bad.
dude, as much as people want Puka right now, like you didn't have to give away the extra picks there. I think he could have just thrown him player
Yeah.
for player straight across.
Extra
Stafford
picks.
for Tua and Waddle.
Yeah, the extra picks are. You don't need to do that.
Sean, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I would take Tua and Waddle over Stafford and Nakua.
Yeah,
So maybe you throw in the second rounder then, right?
Well, then if it's the second, yeah.
But like he's giving up Jimmy and the extra first then at that point, Like, not that Jimmy's anything to write home about, but that first rounder could turn into something nice.
Oh, I mean, I don't disagree. I think Brady just absolutely just won this trade.
It just
I like how you went with the PC version of what you wanted to say there.
just too much. You get, you didn't need to give the draft picks.
Yeah,
Good job,
I
Brady.
think you the picks out of it, and you're good, or at just the second at the most.
Maybe the second, like at most the second. I'm not giving a first with.
No, I think
giving away the two is crazy.
I think the second makes it even. Anything more than the second is not.
Yeah, he would have needed to get another piece back in return. So maybe a running back or something to even it out.
So this is the same league that this guy did earlier. So he traded. What was the other one he did? That was the first one we looked at.
This one here.
No, there's this one.
This one here.
So he got. Wow, he came on.
Wow.
Right, he came
So
on the
he
wrong
traded
side of
away
both of these.
Tua, Waddle, and McCaffrey,
And got Pacheco.
He's making some questionable decisions early in the season.
I think that's the same second rounder that he just sent away in that other trade too, isn't it? Yeah, it is, right? Oh no, he sent his second rounder.
No, his second round.
Hey, Brady, hey, hold on. Brady's in the chat, but Brady, we don't just like this. You just absolutely ate your cake and you just took everything from this guy, and it's not even close.
Show me your DMs with this guy.
This is the kind of trade that will scare the rest of the league away from trading with you.
I want to know.
Sean
Brady,
knows from experience.
Brady, did you kick him in the balls and take those draft picks, or did he just send you those draft picks, or did you ask for those? That's what I want to know.
Oh man, I feel bad. Poor Aquila, he's gonna hate us.
Jesus.
All right, so we should move on from bashing on the poor guy and go on to the one of these trades. Look at that.
Oh, let's go. I made one.
Yeah,
I know this was a little harder to read for you guys, so I'll read it out for you.
And the devil's not here. Is the devil here?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I haven't seen him in here. No. So on this trade, I'll read it out because it's a little harder to read on this one. You got Ken is getting Austin Eckler, Brock Purdy, and Jalen Warren, and he is sending away to Sun Devil, Devon Achane, Will Shipley, and a 2025 third.
Guys, so just to give a quick feedback, this is a dynasty league. The guy Sun Devil, who was in here last week, he had Burrow, Love, Cousins, Daniel Jones, and Purdy, but really needed like a third running back, and he was bugging me for a month and a half about it. And I'm a quarterback away from kind of, in my opinion, being a top 3 team in the league, and this kind of put me at the top. So that's kind of why I made the trade. But all my running, top wide receivers, okay running backs, same old.
I mean, for a dynasty super flex, I think you killed it. Like, I think you murdered him in a dynasty superflex league.
Yeah, I would. Everyone knows my take on Achane. I think he's just a satellite back, to be honest with you. Jalen Wright, he's the guy in the backfield along with Mostert. Achane, like I said, just he's not a guy that's going to run between the tackles. And to trade him and get definitely a top 12 quarterback in a superflex, I really like that. That getting a quarterback like that, and he didn't have to, if I was Sun Devil, for me to make that trade, I'd want somebody like in the ETN range or Kyron Williams range back instead of Achane.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I wouldn't have wanted to send Jalen Warren on the comeback either. At minimum, I would have pulled Jalen Warren out of that deal.
Yeah, that was kind of the breaking point for this trade was Warren. I said I needed a running back on top of this, and he gave it, and he gave me Eckler on top of it, which I really didn't ask for. But that's kind of where we're at. But now I think it's a 12-man, and now
Come on, JoJo. So don't tell me you like Achane over ETN.
I've seen it. I've
no.
seen a lot.
Hold on. I want to do this with JoJo since he and I just don't agree on values. Where do you take A-Chain as a running back this year? Top 3, top 5, top 10? Where do you put him?
Well, why don't we let him put his money where his mouth is, and he can put H-N, and one of y'all can take ETN and do a pub sub.
I'll take ETN for sure.
Hey,
there you go, Joe.
Kid's trying to do it. I'll put my money where Tim's mouth is.
Wait a second. Why can you do a pub sub now, but I've given you 3 opportunities tonight, and you've said no every single time?
Because it's your take. He's not a steal. He's putting his money where your mouth is.
Put it on the books. We got JoJo and
it's your trade. It's your trade.
Yeah, thank you.
You can take that deal.
Yeah, you're right. I'll wait for my other pub subs with you though.
Okay, so it's Ken now. So it's Ken and JoJo, and not Scott and JoJo.
JoJo, you want that one?
He said it. Go for it, JoJo. It's JoJo gets AKN, Ken gets ETN. It's in the books. I love it. That's
All
like
right.
another 2 pub subs already. Let's keep them coming.
All right, we gotta make sure we keep these in order.
All right, next trade up. We've got Ralphie 5'8" trading with D Northern Wizard. Ralphie gets Cade Otten, Jordan Addison, and a 2025 third. And he is sending D Northern Wizard, Terry McLaurin, and Javonte Williams.
I am taking the Javonte and McLaren side, especially now with Dotson gone.
Yeah, me too.
I wish I would have been able to take more shares of McLaren. I just didn't do it this year. I'm an idiot. I should have taken more shares. And I think Javonte's going to have a bounce back year. He's one more year removed from that knee injury. He looked really good. So I think he's going to have a bounce back year. So I like getting those 2 assets and getting those 2 assets in the deal.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't need to reiterate.
I'll defer. I think I like the Addison side here. I think for Dynasty, he has a really high upside. I mean, McLaurin, we're yet to see what Daniels is going to do. There's a little question marks there. We're yet to see if Javonte is actually even going to be the starting running back there. I would prefer Addison and Dynasty to that, but I think
finishes better. Who do you think finishes better this year, Addison or McLaurin?
McLaurin. But I mean, this is Dynasty. I'm not. This guy. It looks like he's probably selling a couple of his older assets, like questionable assets, for a younger guy. Maybe get him a earlier pick. Sell off some of those points. Not a bad strategy.
What about you, Sean?
I got to go with the Javonte Williams, Terry McLaurin side. I mean, Javonte Williams is unknown, yeah, but he's still a younger back who showed some promise early on, and everything I'm hearing is he's back 100% for the first time since that injury. So I like what, he has potentially moving forward with Peyton as his coach. And then, Terry McLaurin, like you just said, he's in a good offense now, finally for the first time with a good quarterback. And he actually is young still. I mean, everybody thinks Terry's old because he's been in the league for a while, but he's not an old guy. I think he's only 27, 28 years old or something like that. So, we still got a good 2-3 year window for him. And I always try to stick in the 3-year window. I think both Terry and Javonte are just as solid in a 3-year window as Addison. And then I think they're an upgrade over Otten and a third rounder. So I definitely go that route.
Javonte too, he's, I think he came in the league when he was like 20. So, I mean, he's only 24.
Young. But he had a pretty serious injury.
Yeah.
It took him a while to get back. And he really wasn't healthy. They thought he was going to be healthy, second half of the season last year, and he really wasn't. So you really don't know what that's going to hold. You really don't know what Daniels is going to hold. Addison.
I still think the potential upside is better than a Otten and a third rounder. And if you say Addison and McLaurin are close enough to each other,
I don't think Addison and McLaurin are close to dynasty value. I think
I think my pushback, Connor, is I agree with you in terms of dynasty, but at some point in time when you're in a dynasty, you sometimes just have to risk it and take that, go get that player. And I think in this one, like I get what your point is. He's probably selling off, but I think this is kind of a trade that helps out both teams at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that the other side's getting screwed or anything. I think it's a pretty even deal. Most of the time I want to bet on the better talent, and I think Addison, I think he proved last year, especially with when Jefferson was out, he had 2 or 3 30-point games alone. So if he moves on somewhere, if he stays with, if JJ McCarthy's healthy or is good at quarterback, I think long run, Addison's going to be a great addition. So,
all right. So Jojo writes in the chat: Are pub subs voided due to serious injury like out for the season? No. It's just like a prop bet.
Well, no, because it would have been like Sean being
that's-
able to get out of his bet with Seabaum
yeah.
about Brooks.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I wouldn't owe him a pub sub right now. Yeah, exactly.
I think 5 now is what you owe me. I've already won them all. So
Oh, have you now? Season hasn't even started yet. He won all the pub subs. All right, we got next trade here.
Oh,
This one. Oh, this is a trade of mine. Surprise, surprise.
wait, there's 2 of them on the screen. Which one am I supposed to be looking at? The top one?
Oh, this was the double whammy trade that they were both basically what this was is B. Bennett made this trade together. Did we discuss this one already on the pod? No? Okay, great. So this was 2 trades that this guy made almost back to back. My thought is that he discussed both these trades with us and went back and forth until he had an answer that he was happy with, an offer from both teams before he accepted either one. So it was basically a 1 trade in 2 kind of deal. So the one he made with me, I got Ken Walker, a 2025 second, 2025 third for Kirk Cousins, Keenan Allen, and Pat Freiermuth. And then the next one that he turned around and made right after that was he got Sam Darnold, Dallas Goedert, and a third for Evan Ingram and Brian Robinson. So we can start with my trade where you guys stand on the top half.
What's your quarterback stable look like?
In that league, I believe I have 4 solid quarterbacks in that league, if I remember correctly.
So Cousins was your 4th?
He would have been my 5th.
He would have been your 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Walker side then. I mean, you can afford to give away a quarterback. I think I do like Walker. I'm starting to grow on me a little bit more.
About time.
I mean, I just think that you're trading away older assets. I mean,
Yeah.
Cousins, Allen.
And this is a dynasty league that I have a younger squad, and I had a few older assets, but for the most part, I have a pretty young team. So that was my thought process behind it, was to move some older assets to get some younger player and some picks.
Connor, you like the Walker side? I saw you were like,
Yeah, I like the Walker side, and I like if we're just sticking on that one, I like the Walker side for sure. I think I made the biggest mistake that I did last year. But our worst trade last year was trading away Walker for Dobbins and some picks. So I don't really want to talk about Kenneth Walker in trades, but I think I traded Mr. John Letts here. I traded him Kenneth Walker for Dobbins, a second, a third, and a fourth right before the season started. And when Dobbins, Dobbins had a really good week 1, and then he tore his ACL. So, but it kind of works out. But yeah, I like the Walker side, and I really love the Ingram side down below. So,
what about you, Ken?
Yeah, definitely take the Walker side. Good job to you, Sean. Can't believe I agree with you. I think down below, though, I would probably take the Ingram side.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably either. I think it's
I think it's
full go Ingram.
Yeah.
Y'all think Robinson or Eckler is the starter there?
That's what I was just about ready to say. I like Brian Robinson. I mean, I think Eckler I think he's about done.
Yeah, I think I'd take the Robinson side on his second offer too. I think he'd made that move out of desperation. If I remember correctly, I believe he had JJ McCarthy, and so he wanted to get Darnold, to cover his butt on that one, which I also think is the reason he went after Cousins, because I believe he was trying to build his quarterback stable.
So who's his starting tight end? Is it Pat Freiermuth? Because if that's the case, then I'm not sure I'd make that deal. Like I'm not
100 on that.
Because it looks like he's competing. Obviously, he went and got Keenan Allen. He went and got Kirk Cousins, and then he gets. I guess Dallas Goedert he gets as well.
Yeah, this is one of our dynasty leagues in the Ballsville group.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not 100% on his team. I'd have to go back and look to
He must have been dying at quarterback to acquire Cousins and Darnold.
I got to push back to your guys' comments on Eckler's about washed up. I kind of disagree with that. I think he's getting near the end, but I think last year with the Chargers, he was supposed to be the receiving back and the running back. I think now with him just being the receiving back, it will give him more fresh legs to maybe go another 2 seasons.
Yeah, and then he said he
agree
said
with
it himself that he was fighting injury all season last year.
Yeah, he
So,
looked
his first year-
horrible towards the end of he looked horrible towards the end of the last season, honestly.
Yeah.
But I agree with Ken. I think if he can stick to that receiving, Daniels dump downs and Brian Robinson gets your heavy carries, your first and 10s and stuff, I think Eckler can be fantasy relevant and have a couple of years left.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right, moving on. So this is D-Pain and Chiefs Life made this trade. So D-Pain gets Mike Evans and Saquon Barkley, and he sends 2 Chiefs Life, Devon Achane and Zay Flowers.
Wow. I got to think about this one for a little bit, but maybe not.
Ken seems to hate it or something. I don't know what. Ken's making noises over there.
I think I got to take the D-Pain side personally. I mean, first glance, I like Evans more than Flowers, and I like Barkley more than Achane.
Yeah, I think that's where that's definitely, I think that's where I stand.
I mean, it is dynasty, so it does change factors a little bit when it comes to the Flowers Evans aspect of it. I don't think the Barkley Achane age difference means as much. I think Barkley is going to be good for 3 years. I like to do 3-year window. So
I think I personally take the Achane Flower side because they both have, they're both way younger. I think Achane's 22, Zay Flowers is 22 or something, and Barkley's 26, 27. Evans is 30, I think. So
this might be a classic competitor versus up and coming.
And that's
even so, that Achane still has RB1 territory in his range of outcomes, and so does Zay Flowers, a top 12 wide receiver, probably more like top 24 wide receiver. But
so
I like how you bet on that one.
I think I have to go with the A-Chain side here in Dynasty.
Yeah.
I think you're selling Barkley at top value. A-Chain's 22, Barkley's 28, Evans is 30, Zay's 24. So I think what this move is, I think one person's trying to win and one person's looking towards the future without having to go get the draft pick route. So I think this one's an even trade depending on the team needs for both.
Yeah, if you look at D-Pain's team and he has a bunch of young guys and he's not super competitive, then it's a horrible deal.
But
yeah,
I don't even know if the point difference is that crazy though either. Though, like Achane can outscore Barkley this year. Flowers probably doesn't outscore Evans, but
so if they both stay healthy, I think Achane scoring Barkley will be so minimal if he does that it won't make a difference.
Yeah, but he's also 4 years younger, 5 years younger. So I'm saying for dynasty that matters if they're outscoring each other this year. I think I like the Achane side a lot personally. I think it's a pretty large margin.
I agree with Ken and JoJo. I think it's an even trade. One guy, like we all said, one guy looks like wants to win now. The other guy looks like he's building. Hey, I got a question for you guys. If you have Devon Achane and you want to trade him, just straight up, you're looking just a straight up trade. What wide receiver are you targeting?
Michael Pittman, maybe? Drake London?
That low?
No.
Because everyone that I see, because I'm a little lower on Achane, obviously, than most people are. So if I know that everyone's super high on Achane, like a second round, back of the second round, front of the third round pick, could I possibly get? I mean, I'm probably not going to get. Could I get a Puka Nacua?
No,
I don't think so.
That's
not as much on Puka.
Could I get a Mark? Could I get a?
I think London is a good gauge.
I think the London's a little rich as well. I think London's a little rich.
Could I get Malik Neighbors?
No.
What about Olave? JoJo had a good one there. Olave.
I don't think you did Olave either.
So
you
probably is the Pittman. Then you're looking at Pittman in that range because now you're at that tier.
So A-Chain does not get you Ayuk because I think people would rather have A-Chain from what I've seen in leagues. But I think A-Chain has also gone for London. I haven't seen him go for Olave, but I think that with how much hype there is around A-Chain and how excited people are, you can go get those top wide receivers if you really want them.
You just have to add a little extra piece maybe on the back end, like throw a second on there.
So you're saying if you put together like a Chan and like a lower tiered. Okay, what if I took a Chan and like
that's a good one.
And like a Christian Watson? Do you think I could get
Don't say Christian Watson because that's going to skew him right out the gate.
I like JoJo's Nico. I think that's probably the perfect player to be targeting with H-An, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Nico. So you think a Chan for Nico straight up?
Yeah, 100%. I would take Nico every single time, but yes.
Yeah, if I'm doing that, I might try to package H-An with a second and target like an AJ Brown or something like that.
What about could you do a Chan for Waddle?
In some I'm guessing in some leagues probably. I think Waddle and Nico are going, flip flopping around in startups. So
yeah, they're close. They're close.
It depends on how high people are in H-An, because I think most of us here are not as high as some people are. Because I know there's a big community of H-An lovers in fantasy.
Oh yeah, there is. There's
JoJo's one.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think he is. I don't think he's. He might be this year. I don't know, but he has some good comparisons. Nico, yeah, I think London's too rich.
So what if we did the package with the second and targeted like we'll say Chase because of all the issues with him right now?
There's not a person in this world that do H-An and
no one's that.
No chance.
Even
so
the biggest
you're not getting the top receiver. You're not getting one of the top.
No, you're not getting
without adding a whole lot.
I'm leaving them out. I'm saying like Puka,
maybe Roma Dunze,
like Puka Waddle.
No, I think H-N goes over Dunze.
Yeah,
I think H-N goes over Dunze.
I think the highest wide receiver straight up that you could potentially push for with H-N is London.
I still think that's a breach in my opinion because I'm just higher on.
I would take London.
I don't disagree, but I'm saying if you're trying to get a young wide receiver and trying to trade H-N
away.
What about
Devontae Smith?
What
about Devontae Smith?
Yeah, I think that's another fair one. I put him right around Nico, so I think that's fair. I think London right now, his cost is just way too high for H-N. His cost right now, maybe a month or so, 2 months ago before that Kirk Cousins, you could get him easily for H-N.
Oh yeah, you would have gotten him plus. You'd have got like a second.
I've seen London go before some of these guys. Like I've seen London go like second round in Superflex startups. So it's like
I think a Chan is going to be one of the most polarizing players this year, especially with Jalen Warren there or Jalen right there along with Mostert. I want to see how that backfield.
How do you say that and then you don't like him?
What do you mean? How do I say him and I don't like him? I think he's gonna be polar. You know how my take on him. I'm just saying like it sucks because I don't have a lot of shares of him, and sometimes maybe I wish I would have because then I could have flipped him for a receiver. That's why I asked you guys what receiver you would be able to flip if you didn't want a Chan.
So here's the trade that I made earlier based on H-N that I wonder if you guys are still have the same opinion now as things have changed a little bit. Remember I made that trade, Derrick Henry and a first for H-N, and we talked about it on one of these episodes a while back. Do you guys still like that trade as of now with H-N where he's at, or would you flip and go with the H-N side now?
Who was it? Can you say that?
Derrick Henry and a 2025 first for H-N.
And which side were you?
I was the Henry side.
Okay.
Actually, it was a 2024 first, but it was before the rookie draft.
What pick was it?
Yeah, it ended up being I think like 8. I want to say.
Yeah, I'd probably take.
Yeah, I still like that side because you can get that Lad McConkey, Brian Thomas.
You could get Drake May there. I've seen Drake May fall to the 108.
It's funny because I almost think that's what I did. I almost think it was Drake May, if I remember correctly, that pick ended up being Drake May.
Yeah.
I'll go back and verify that, but I'm almost positive. So, yeah, so I'm just curious what you guys' thoughts were now that H-N has seemed to go up in rankings a little bit.
I also think H-N's one of the top players in fantasy as a whole, where people, in terms of value, are all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because his points are all over the place. I mean, if he plays, he was like guaranteed to get, a 75-yard touchdown and guaranteed, 25 points. But if he got hit one time on a run or whatever, he was out for a couple of games. So it's like
I just couldn't. I can't stomach those redraft and dynasty weeks where I have to put him in and hope, where I just think he's a better play in best ball. You know,
So who do you like more, or who do you hate more, or how do you have the hate for Devon Achane and the love for Christian Watson? They're the same person, just on different,
Can we
positional.
move on from Christian Watson? I think we spent enough time on him.
Yeah, but I think Seabohm has a point though.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand where he's coming from.
okay, so Christian Watson, first off, he has a prototypical X receiver body, plays in a great offense, where Achane is a smaller back in a rotational role. And to me, Achane is a satellite back. He's not a bell cow back. He's never going to be a bell cow back. Never.
This isn't 1975 anymore. We don't have bell cow bats. Derrick Henry is the only one still here.
How can you say we don't have bell cow
Brees
backs
Hall?
anymore? Who's
Brees Hall?
Christian McCaffrey.
Who's
McCaffrey.
Who's
Okay, but these guys
McCaffrey?
catch passes out of the backfield. Bell cow bats are mostly your run and gun. You run the ball with him. You don't throw him the ball.
Really? LaDainian Tomlinson? You never threw LaDainian?
Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson was in 2000 though, not in 1970.
How about Marshall Faulk?
I don't think Marshall Faulk ever had a 100 catch season. 100 catch season?
Yeah, he did.
100 catch?
Yeah, he had a 100 catch season. He had
All right,
20.
we're gonna
he
you until
had
you look that up.
2,500 all-purpose yards one year.
You can hear him typing
I know
away.
he's typing it up.
All right, while he's looking that up so that we all can verify that he's wrong,
Go to a different.
let's go to the next trade here. Here we go. This is one of the big boys. We were really excited to go over this one here. So this is Mr. Ben doing this, one of our favorite players. He was made a trade with Chadwick 0304. He got DJ.
No, stop. Marshall Faulk, top receiving year, was 87 catches. So I want my pub subs from every single person here that said that they were like, he's wrong.
He missed it by
I want my pub
13
subs.
catches.
86.
He missed it by 13 catches. I'll tell you right now, you want to make
If
a
he had a
pub sub bet-
17-week
you wanna
season,
make a
he'd
pub
been
sub
fine.
bet that Devin Achane will never have more than 60 catches in a season.
Well, he might not stay healthy.
There you go.
Well, there's your pub sub bet, man. Are you?
There's your
confident
pub sub
you
bet.
know? I mean, put your money where your mouth is,
60
bud.
catches
What is
in
it?
a season.
I'm not even an Achane lover. What are you talking about?
Where's JoJo?
I'm saying, why
Hey,
does
we
he
gotta bring
love
JoJo
Christian
in here for a
Watson?
Oh, I love it. This is great. So let's get to this trade here. We got Mr. Ben doing this is getting DJ Moore, Josh Jacobs, and Marvin Harrison Jr. And he's sending Chadwick, DJ Shark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Bijan Robinson. So, I mean, first glance, I lean towards Mr. Ben doing this.
This is the biggest
stay
trade
there.
this is the one trade I've seen with the most high profile players in it.
Yeah, and this is redraft. This is not dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was this was high stakes redraft number 9.
This
So
is ridiculous.
One of my leagues. When I saw this trade, I was like, "Oh my god, already?"
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more on the DJ Jacobs, Harrison side.
What?
I think so, yeah, because he's getting 3 solid players to put in his lineup. DJ Shark is just a washout, so you're getting Amon and Bijan, yes, but I think you're going to end up more points at the end of the season out of this combination of the 3 versus the 2.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I mean, it's all flashy and
believe what
everything,
you're
St.
talking
Brown
about.
and Bijan, but Mr. Ben doing this has 3 legit starters that he can put in his lineup to score points. He's got an RB1 and 2 WR1s. And DJ Chark, I don't even know how he even got in this trade.
Yeah, that's why I like Alex's comment. One of these players is not like the
Not
others.
like the other. That's hilarious. That's definitely for sure. Can't
Right?
believe-
He stands out like a sore thumb out of that block of 6 players, doesn't he? I would have wanted more for DJ. I would have wanted something other than DJ Shark back, something that was actually, potentially valuable piece. DJ's DJ probably.
I
What
think
are we
I have
talking
to.
about? You go ahead, Ken. I can't believe these guys. Please tell me you're not on the. I know you're not a redraft guy, so I want to hear it.
It's tough because
My argument made a lot of sense for him, and it's hard now.
I think I have to go the Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore side.
I'll see y'all later. Oh my.
But dude, you got to look at this redraft mode, baby. Like you got DJ Moore, Josh Jacobs, Marvin Harrison. Every one of those guys is going to be a solid performer. You anticipate, right?
So I think
go ahead.
I think my pushback to this is I have to look at the teams for this one, because if Mr. Ben doing this, if Chadwick has the depth and has those pieces, I would take the St. Brown side because I know what I'm getting and I know how high powered they could be. But with me not seeing the teams, I don't know, it's 3v2. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it, and I like depth, so that's kind of why I go that way.
I don't know how you don't take the two round one startup picks, or not startups, the 2 round 1 picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going what, 110, 110. Bijan's going 112, and you're trading them for Marvin Harrison. What, early third, late second?
This is a super flex, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bijan didn't drop into the early second.
Even so, the best player on the other team is Marvin Harrison's going maybe early third. Josh Jacobs is going in the 6th round, and DJ Moore's going maybe in the 4th. And you're trading basically two. Let's just call them 2 first-round picks.
I'm also not. I think,
like you said, though, look at the picks. You got a 1st rounder, a 2nd rounder, and like a 15th rounder for like a 3rd, 4th, and a 6th. Like I'm still taking the 3rd, 4th, and 6th in that
over 2 first rounders.
Look, we gotta stop. We have to stop when we evaluate trades what round these guys are in.
I agree with that. By the way.
Okay.
It does, because that's the value. That's the evaluation. If you're going to trade them, you have to. You're going to trade your 2 first-round picks for your 4th, your 3rd, 4th, and 6th round picks.
It's the context. It's the context on how these players are on their team. So basically, Josh Jacobs is a number 1. Now we just found out there's nobody else in the backfield for any competition. Marvin Harrison is the undoubtedly number 1 on his team target. Same with St. Brown. St. Brown's got a little bit more though with Laporta, JMO, the running game. And DJ Moore, you don't think that Bears offense is going to be good? I think it's going to be really good. So, Bijan's got Algier there. Now they're saying that Algier's going to get some run now, and it's not all going to be Bijan. So I agree with Sean. You put those 3 guys in your lineup, and they're scoring you points every single week.
Let's take a pub sub on these teams. I want Chadwick's team, and anybody that's willing to take Mr. Ben doing this, who's an idiot, can take his team.
No, because you're talking a full team here. We can talk about taking these 3 players versus those 2 players and count those points.
We can say who scores more points. We can say who scores more points, St. Brown and Robinson, or Moore, Jacobs, and Harrison.
Yeah, exactly.
I want the teams. That's why they're trading.
We don't know the teams. I can't take the pub sub on a team. I only know 3 players.
Hey, hold on. I feel like now it's like Sean and Scott on one side and C-Bomb on the other, and I'm like dab in the middle. Go up to Alex's comment for a sec, because I think Alex hits it kind of on the head with this. C-Bomb, I know you're going to disagree, but just hear me out just for a sec. It's so early in the season. It's like he says it better than I can say it, but diversifying what you have. I think by having 3 assets out of the gate to potentially do something later on is better off. Yes, Sean, I think in terms of value, I think you have a point. But I also think, for Chadwick, you have 3 guys. But if Jacobs can actually turn into a stud, and you have that with Marvin Harrison, which I know you're a big fan of with Murray, I think that side can end up being better than the other side.
I agree. It could be. I could be completely wrong. I'm okay with that. But at this moment, Bijan has been going, the 110. I've seen him go the 110. I've seen him go the 112. And you have Amon-Ra going the 1.8 to the 112.
I'm with Scott on not using the trade draft stock as evaluation tactic because it just doesn't really work out after the draft. Here's where I'm at right here, okay? So Amon-Ra and Bijan Robinson, what do you think combined their average score weekly will be? let's say 38 points. That sounds fair between the two of them. So do you put Josh Jacobs and Marvin Harrison at maybe around 30? So an 8-point difference? Does that sound fair?
That's 15. That's 15 apiece.
Yeah, I would say that's about a fair assessment.
I would say Jacobs is probably 12, Harrison maybe 15, so 27. And then you add DJ Moore at 12, 39. I mean,
exactly. I mean, that's the point right there. I mean, and you're in my opinion, you're evaluating him low. I definitely think that Josh Jacobs could easily be averaging 15 points a game, and I think Marvin Harrison should potentially average more than 15 points a game.
And I think Amon-Ra averaged 20, and Bijan could easily average 20, so it could be 40. I'm just saying
40, but if you do what I'm talking about right there, now you're looking at a 47-point average from the other
but
three.
There's going to be a third player that he's going to play in this trade. Like, there's going to be a third player. Like, he's going to have to replace DJ Moore with a player, correct?
Yeah, that's at some point. Yes, of course.
So if he replaces DJ Moore with, say, Ladd McConkey, a 10-point.
Wait, no. You're talking about. I thought you were talking about DJ Shark. He's going to have to replace DJ.
He's not going to replace him with DJ Shark. He's a depth piece. He's going to replace him with Ladd McConkey, or a player that's in that realm. That's going to be 10 points per game. So he's going to average 50 points.
Yeah, but the other guy might be adding in, replacing a guy who's going to be like a super scrub, his last flex that was like his worst position total, and now he has DJ Moore to throw there.
Yeah, and that's fine. I would rather have the two higher upside players. I want the more, the compact players that you give me 20 points per game over, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15 points per game.
I don't know, man. Yeah. I think you're looking at it like the other guys don't have the potential to score 20 points a game.
Right,
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that they have a less likelihood of doing that.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think this trade's a lot closer than you guys kind of think it is. But
I think it's pretty close. I'm just saying.
It's
I think
definitely really close. It just, like I said, it's not like it's not like this guy's trying to fleece him and be like, I just got 2 awesome studs and I gave you 3 players that are like mediocre. I mean, all 3 of those players have paths to being, very, very good point producers every week.
I mean, yeah. All right. Yeah, I agree. Time for the next trade.
All right, we got time for one more trade.
Daddy's getting mad in there. Daddy's getting mad.
Oh, is that Mr. been doing this? He just changed.
Yeah, he's getting mad in there.
It's perfect timing. This is our last trade. How did this one get in here? How did this one get in here, man?
Oh my God! Can we stop with your stupid trades? Put some other people in here.
I wanted your guys' opinion, so I threw it in. What can I say? So this is a trade that literally was just made this morning, actually. So I traded with Jay Lancey 23, who might be in here because I did put the link in for these guys. Hopefully they're listening. He got TJ Hawkinson, Anthony Richardson, and Zay Flowers off me for a good amount of players. Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Amari Cooper, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Cole Kmet. So where do you guys stand on this deal? It's kind of I'll give you a little background too. He took over a orphan team, and he's looking to just basically revamp his squad. So he wanted to get some younger talent and trade away some older talent. So that's kind of how we got to this point in the situation. So
Sean, do we really need to go through this one?
What, you don't want to talk about it?
I mean, let's be honest. It's your side, and it's not even close.
I guess not, but it's close enough.
It's not close.
What do you guys think? Richardson doesn't move the needle for you guys that much?
Sean, me and you talked about that earlier. I told you it was a great trade.
Yeah, well, you actually had me wanting to move Kmet and Cooper, right? We were both talking about trying to trade out Cooper and Kmet for, I think Isaiah Likely was the target instead of Kmet, and then
I wanted Likely instead of Kmet.
So, and I was thinking Ridley instead of Cooper was what I was looking at potentially, but at the end, I just decided it wasn't worth trying to give him an opportunity to pull out of it. I just accepted the
offer. Good job, Sean. I'm very proud of you that you just got the completely better side of this trade.
So you too, C-Bomb?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's closer than what Ken's saying. I like Anthony Richardson. He's going pretty early. But I mean, I think you win, but not by as much as what Ken is making it out to be.
Yeah, but you're giving up. You have two top 5 run. You have at least one top running back. You have probably, I don't know, it's pushing it 5 to 7 in terms of where Barkley is. I think Cousins is still going to be a good quarterback for another 3 to 4 seasons. Geno's still good. I think Cooper's still good. Yeah, I get the point, younger and older. But if this guy was really looking for young pieces, he should have gotten some picks with his trade. And I feel like he could have this guy could have gotten a lot more individually than trading with you.
And that's something that I was surprised about, because the initial conversation started with, "What do you want for Barkley?" And this was the response.
That's what he sent you initially.
Yeah, I said, "What do you want for Barkley?" with a question mark, and he sent me this trade.
McCaffrey with it. You ended up getting McCaffrey too.
I was surprised when he said it. I was thinking that, you know, he would probably want to go after Richardson somehow, and I'd have to work an angle to try to get the deal. And then he sent this.
What are the roster settings for this? This
is a 12-team Superflex TEP standard roster settings with I think 3 flex positions.
So start 10.
Yeah. You got your 2 receiver, 2 running backs, tight end, quarterback, 3 flex, super flex.
I would also like to point out SKM Music, the fact that I said 3 to 4 seasons that's because of how long his contract is.
That's Sarah.
That's Sarah.
You took the way you said it. You're all SKM Music.
She likes.
I just felt like saying it that way.
Ken with the whammy.
But
all right.
So
everybody's in agreement that I destroyed this trade. I really appreciate your guys' confidence in me.
All right. Well, I hope that that helps. We got all these trades in, and we all want to thank you guys for chiming in on the chat. Thank you all, listeners, for listening. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. It really helps a lot. And then as far as remember, next week we will not be on Wednesdays anymore. We will be on Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to be rolling into week 1 next week.
That's right.
We're really, really excited for some football, and we could see if all these hot takes come through, and who's eating what pub subs, and all the new trades, and all our leagues, and how people are doing. So for my producer, Sarah, for my co-host, Sean S. Clem, and the dealer, and C-Bomb, until next Tuesday, all,